Dami Kaspada, ladies and gentlemen, Dobry den. My name is Pekka Viljakainen, and I'm the advisor to the president of Skolkovo Foundation. I have been all my life an entrepreneur. I started my business when I was 13, some 27 years ago. The business was in IT. It grew quite fast, and I retired some 3 years ago when the business was already 20,000 people in 26 countries. And after that, I was asked to come to Russia to have an outside view about the innovation system, namely to Skolkovo, and to really think about how to develop it further on. And it's a great honor for me to be today giving this word for the friends in Far East of Russia, namely to Vladivostok. I was there in startup tour in April. I must say that I was really impressed about the development across Russia. And I'm not saying this that it's politically correct or that I have to say, honestly speaking, I was impressed about the way how all the cities where we visited, 16 cities, actually are putting a hell of a lot of emphasis on building the startup community and the whole movement. So warmly welcome to your event. I'm not able to be there by myself now because at the same time we have a Sochi Economic Forum here in the Black Sea. So that's why I have to do these words through the video. Sorry for that. But hopefully we will see soon also in our next event in Vladivostok so we can talk live. Few words about our agenda and the Skolkovo as such. Of course, Skolkovo is just one part of the innovation system. We have Russian venture company, we have Rosmaladyozh, we have FASI, meaning Bortnik Foundation, we have a regional incubators, and we have ministries. So there are quite many players in this game. However, Skolkovo has a role. It has been said, like in our mission, that we have to enable growth and diversification of the Russian economy through innovation and making this innovation commercial. I think it's said a lot. It tells a lot about it. It's simple phrase, but extremely difficult to execute, of course. And of course, all the nations, not only Russian Federation, is doing it. For Russia, this is exceptionally important because, like we all know, the economy is so much based on the commodities, oil and gas. It's so much based on this legacy, which will be important. But every time when I'm tired, when I live in Finland, but I'm working 4 days a week in Moscow and all other Russian regions. Every time when I'm tired, I think that why the heck I should leave, why I should work for Russia for this issue. And the target is extremely clear. We have to get tens, not 10,000, but tens of thousands new companies and entrepreneurs start their business in Russia in coming 5 to 10 years. It sounds totally impossible. My wife is a Russian, so I know what a lot of the Russians think about it. It's like a cynical mind that it will never happen, and this is just some kind of a facade, some kind of a fake thing. But actually, for me, it's extremely real. And more I see young talents, more and more I see startups. We have now roughly 25,000 people in our entrepreneurship community, so to say, which we can reach. More and more I believe on that. Even my wife has started to believe when she has seen startups and young talents introducing their projects for me and for the foreign investors. So I think today when you are there in the session, you should focus only for one issue, and it is that this is really important. This is not entertainment. Skolkovo or any projects what we do is not like entertaining ourselves or doing something which might be good. It is absolutely essential. It's absolutely essential. And that's why I think that, and I hope that everybody will take this topic seriously. For Skolkovo, for us, of course, Skolkovo is a program which operates in a project which is focusing in the area, Skolkovo area region, which is close to Moscow. But the reason why Skolkovo was originally established was not to make another technopark close to Moscow and get all the companies from Russian regions to come to Moscow. That's not the point at all. We have in our ecosystem, we have now 920 startups, which we have taken out of 5,000 companies, which means that we have gone through quite a lot of startups. We have a Skoltech University. We have a virtual Skolkovo, which is the device where the technical platform, which is for all Russian regions to get all the information, all the knowledge, all the best practices what Skolkovo has to be delivered to whomever building this kind of ecosystem. We have 52 venture capital companies, and meaning that we are doing a lot of marketing of Russia. We are not marketing Skolkovo, we are marketing Russia as an investment target. There is a lot of doubts. People are thinking if the legal system is ready, if the all this kind of what views what the foreigners have about Russia. But we are doing step by step, not by having great speeches or marketing, I mean, buying advertisement, but showing companies over and over again, taking Russian foreign investors to see companies in our events. Or we travel, like last week, we were in Russian Innovation Week in US, in Boston, and in California. It's a slow, small steps taken, and it takes time, but we are getting there more and more. In Skolkovo ecosystem, the important part is also our cooperation with our big partners, technology company SAP, Microsoft, Boeing, IBM, and so forth. Because while we are building an ecosystem, we don't only need startups, we don't need government, we don't need VCs, we also need big technological players who will make their own R&D centers. And those who have worked in those companies will get the knowledge about global competitiveness, global competition, and that's essential to get our startups to the next level. And last but not least, of course, we are also funding companies, giving grants. But I think more and more our focus is to make such a program, such a support, such an examples that the companies like in Vladivostok or in Far Eastern Russia or any Russian region, when there is a guy or girl with a great idea, how that can be patented, how the person can build an international team, leadership team, how he or she can find a sales channel, how he or she can test that the innovation is really not only best in Vladivostok, but best in Russia and best in the world. That is extremely important. So these are the steps what we really want to develop together with you and with all the regions. And I know historically Russia is a really big country, and there are all kind of structures and formalities and line organizations and so forth. But I am encouraging, and the whole Skolkovo, including our president, Mr. Vekselberg, is really promoting the true entrepreneurship. So to be less governmental, be more entrepreneurial, to make things happen because of the startups, not that the process as such is important. The only important part of the startup community is startups itself. And the only measurement for the success of Skolkovo or any program what you are doing in Vladivostok is how many internationally competitive startups will be ready, let's say, 2020 in 6 years. This is the goal. All the other things, how many people is in our events, or how much of press coverage we get, or how many venture capitalists will visit, these are just small steps, kind of milestones. The only real measurement is how many companies will be active, alive, and employing Russians in 2020. So with these words, I would like to first of all welcome you again to your session. Once again, sorry that I cannot be there, but as I said, Skolkovo, myself, everybody in this system should work. I can only talk, of course, on behalf of me and Skolkovo, but we are really putting all our emphases to make this happen together. And yes, there are people who have doubts. Yes, there are people who are only searching for cheap or free money from the government. I think those who are searching only for money, they should go for somewhere else, because money will not solve the startup problem. Startups needs a lot of advices, a lot angels, not only angel investors, but advices, senior people, senior leaders that they put time and help, give advices. Most of the companies, they need more advices than money. And that's why all the steps what you in Far East, Russia, or in Vladivostok, you can do to support these companies, you are doing a great favor for Russian Federation and for these companies. So with this word, let's keep in touch. I hope that you all will join to our events also when we are coming to the Far East. You will check all the online sources what we have, and then 2nd and 3rd of June 2014 we will have a Startup Village event in Moscow. We try to get 10,000 people to come together from all the regions of Russia. You will get the official invitation from the Prime Minister soon. So we will see there at the latest. But in the meanwhile, focus on startups, focus on success of these companies, how these companies can be not best in Vladivostok, not best in Russian Federation, but to be best in the world. Thank you very much. Спасибо большое.